You're listening to the Biz Babes with Soul podcast with your host, Melody Spencer. This is episode 15. Hey guys, welcome to the Biz Babes with Soul podcast. I'm your host, Melody Spencer, and I am super excited to have Stevii Mills here today. Stevii is a radio host, an author, a CEO, and a million other things. She does it all, and we are so excited to have her here to talk about herself, starting her business, and everything in between. So thank you, Stevii, for being here.
Thank you, Melody, and congratulations to you. I love the name of your podcast, and I love your personality.
Well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
I help women and men. I help people. It was funny because I just started helping some men because for 9 years, my business was women focused. So I am starting to help some men now, but I help people to get on the news for free. And so for me, I have been in the public relations industry for about 20 years. I started as a student at North Carolina A&T. So when I was 17, I'll be 40 this year. And that's how long I've been in PR. And so
Wow.
I really am excited about really helping get people to become featured, right? A lot of times people have become the best kept secret or a hidden figure because nobody knows about them. And that's sad when you're doing great work. So that's the work that I do.
That's great. So how did you get into the life of an entrepreneur? What made you kind of say, I don't want to have a normal 9-to-5 PR job. I just want to do it on my own.
Wow. I went straight from kindergarten to grad school. I didn't take any breaks, and so the next logical thing was to get a job. Or so I thought. And the first job that I ever got was an amazing job at a nonprofit organization. I was supposed to be there 3 months, but I ended up being there 3 years.
Wow.
And so the grant kept running. They just kept re-granting us. And so I worked various positions there. It was the dream job, I tell you. I worked from home. I made my own schedule. And I was able to go in and create the curriculum for what would have been my job. So I literally made my dream job happen.
Wow.
And that God just worked that out. It was a blessed opportunity. And the grant finally ran out. And so I was like, okay, well, I have a graduate degree. Let me go forth and see what I could get with my degrees. Because, you know, when you have, they say the more degrees you have, the more money you make. So I did that. And the crazy thing about it was that I love the training. I love training. I realized that I love to travel and I love to take classes. I love all this. But when I actually got into the job that I was there to do, I hated it. And every day I hated being there. I felt like a caged bird. I grew up being so free in my life. My parents were very lenient with me. Then, you know, college, you kind of make your own schedule there too. And so when I got into that position, I felt like, oh my gosh, now this is what like work feels like. And I had never felt that feeling. So I think being in that environment where I was just like so like having to do things by other people's standards and you know you go to lunch when people tell you to and all this kind of stuff. When I did that, it just really sent my body for a tailspin. And so I ended up having to have 3 colonoscopies within 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. I went from a size 14 to a size 0, and I got shingles on top of that because of the stress. And I had never felt, I didn't really know what stress was. I never had been stressed in my life. I'm very carefree. I'm very bubbly personality. I'm just that person. So when I got there, I realized it wasn't the fit, but I didn't know what was. And so I just began this path of self-exploration because the illness, even though I'm kind of paraphrasing it, it lasted like a year. And so this was I just had to get to a point where I really, really understood what it was that I wanted to do and gave myself permission to do it. Because a lot of times we don't. We miss the boat on understanding what it is that we were created to do.
Yeah, that's so true. Or we think about it for years and we overplan it and we never take action.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm so glad you made it through that. That sounds like quite the journey.
Thank you.
So what has been your biggest obstacle in your journey as an entrepreneur? Like, what have you found that you've come up against over and over again? And how did you deal with that?
I think really getting out of my own way. I was never groomed to be an entrepreneur. That wasn't what I thought I wanted to be. And so even though I saw my dad is a musician. So he's been an entrepreneur for all of my life and most of his. And so for me, it just came to the point where, I had to really get to the point where it was okay to kind of like make mistakes. It was okay to fail. It was okay to bump your head. And I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to that. I was used to being my best. And so when I got to the point where it just wasn't anymore, then and realizing, okay, well, I'm here to learn this. This is where I have to grow from. It's okay to not know everything, especially in a field where I never thought that I would be. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. And so just giving myself permission to get out of my own way, to make these mistakes along the way, to bootstrap it, and when I quit my job back in 2009, because I've been a full-time entrepreneur since, I didn't have the knowledge of what I have now. I tell people now, don't just up and quit your job. But I'm glad I did, because I don't know what my health would have been had I not gone when I left. But, you've got to consider, don't just look at me and think that, okay, Stevie did this, so I can too. My life situation may be totally different. And I think entrepreneurship is definitely something you have to be ready for. Yes, it is a great world. Yes, we do get to make our own choices. It's so much phenomenal stuff about it. But at the end of the day, it's like you got to count on you. And then you have to and then pray. That's what I say. Because you have to figure out at the end of the day, if there's as opposed to a job where that you have a steady paycheck coming, whether it's once a week, once a month, every other week, whatever it is, then you have that. But if I don't know, literally, and we're entrepreneurs, even though I'm a coach, a speaker, an author, all these other things, my paycheck is dedicated to the people who pay me. As far as when they if something happens with their child, they're not going to choose to pay me versus to take care of their child. So, so, and rightfully so, but I think we just have to really remember that's the journey we're on, and that sometimes cannot be the best thing for somebody if they're not ready for that.
Yeah, that's so interesting. We have very similar stories in the fact that, you said you aren't used to failing. I'm the exact same way. When I've come up to things where I failed, I was like, what? That's not me. That's not what I do. I don't fail. So I totally understand that. And I never thought I would be an entrepreneur either. And I didn't plan my leaving from my job either. I kind of just said, okay, I'm doing this. Oh, look, I'm doing it. And I never would recommend that to anybody. Don't do that. It's scary. It's really scary. But I've come out on the other side. So it's good there's people like us who can say, okay, do what I say, but not what I do.
Exactly.
So why do you love what you do, and how are you uniquely helping your clients?
I'm uniquely helping my clients because a lot of people who have a PR background are publicists. For me, I definitely am a coach. I believe that you can take PR into your own hands. You don't have to have an expensive publicist to get you a booking. You can do it yourself. And so therefore that is truly what differentiates me from the crowded marketplace. And also because I believe in the fact that you need to be on the news, you need to be on media, not just for you. I believe that we all have a voice and we all have to use it as a vessel. I definitely believe that we have been put on this earth to do a specific thing. And so the more people that you impact, the more your custom design assigned audience will show up. So for me, of course, it is great to be interviewed. I've been interviewed a lot over these 9 years. It is beautiful. It's a great thing. We're appreciative of every person who has interviewed me, but I think that it's for the greater good because you never know who's on the other side listening. And for me, it's definitely, I share a transparent story just simply because you may be the answer to someone's prayer. Someone may be listening to us right now who's on the verge of committing suicide, who's on the verge of homelessness, who's on the verge of whatever it is. We never know. But because they hear this, they have another day of hope. So I think that really getting on the platforms to be interviewed and to be showcased are important because, yeah, of course, the glitz and the glam, that's one thing. It's awesome to say that you've done that, but it's for a deeper message. And I just love that. I love helping people to sign the permission slips to their ideal lives and really know that there is much more than a corporate America job. If that's what you love to do, then that's great. But a lot of people are stuck there and don't love it and don't want to be there, but still feel like they have no options. So that's why I love what I do. I really get to show people the possibilities of what can happen.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I feel like some people think, well, there's no other option for me. Like I'm just going to be stuck in this job forever. And I feel like life is too short to do something you hate or that makes you physically ill. Like, no, don't.
I didn't stay there long. I think, it wasn't for me.
So what keeps you going when you encounter obstacles in your business or in your life?
Definitely, I am a Christian, so I have a strong relationship with God. I think that for me personally, that's what keeps me going. I think definitely, I am very, very, very keen on the fact that to whom much is given, much is required. I've been blessed in my life. So because I've been blessed, I understand that, there's somebody I owe. I feel like when you've been blessed, you owe somebody the opportunity to be a blessing to them. So for me, I think it's kind of selfish to be down in the dumps for too long. We all have our days, but to stay there it becomes a woe is me type of thing. And we don't have that opportunity. Like you said, life is short. We don't know how many days we'll have on this earth. So we just got to get out here and kind of go through the motions that are human. Depression is real and it's a real thing that people need to acknowledge. Feeling burnt out is real. These are real emotions, but at the same time, we have to regroup, recharge, and get up again and start over.
So do you have any sort of morning routine or practice that helps you kind of get your day started and helps you keep yourself motivated or start off on the right foot?
I do. Every morning, I do something different. Periscope, which is a great app. I have a friend who periscopes, and her Periscope is great because it's a teaching, like a personal development teaching. So therefore, I look at that every day. And so Monday through Friday, which is good because then I get up and I'm able to start my day because I need the first words that I hear to be positive. And so it kind of sets the course for my day. And then I do listen to music. We have an app here called Focus Radio, which, anybody could get, but they have great music on there. And I just believe in the power of the word. So whether it's through music, whether it's through Periscope, whether it's through reading, whether it's through meditation. I just believe in, that getting in that zone as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And it's funny, literally every woman I have interviewed so far has said similar things, like just starting your day on the right foot with music and feeling, happy and joyful, and just setting that intention for the day is a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what sets us apart, because we kind of bring time or set that intention each day to just start our day right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what would one piece of advice for a woman listening who might be considering starting her business or maybe just started her business, what would you tell her?
The first thing that popped in my mind was to start it while you're working. Like, start it as a side hustle. A lot of people think that, you have to be a full-time entrepreneur and this and that. And some people kind of shame people who are not full-time entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. But I would say start it as a side hustle. Give it a few months to see, is this really for you? Because a lot of times we might think it is, but we need to stay at our job, or we want to stay at our job. We just want to do some different things there. Really seeing, is this right for me? That way you can start beginning to get some money saved together. Because I know that my business bills sometimes outweigh my personal bills. Mm-hmm. So you have to, it's not cheap to be an entrepreneur. It's definitely risky to be an entrepreneur. So really get out here and see and experience. And if you already are someone who's not working, then you have more time to put that into your business, and really be okay with changing business models. Like, once you start something, you don't have to stay there. You just need to explore. I got really, really good at being one who just used my different business models as tuition I was paying to get to wherever I desired to be in life.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely so true. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 6 years, and I'm constantly learning, constantly growing, always being like, okay, what coach am I going to invest in now? What course am I going to take? Like, what lessons am I going to learn? And I'm always switching my focus and creating new things. And I think that's what you have to be kind of flexible and good at doing as an entrepreneur.
Yep, you do.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what do you have anything that you want to promote or talk about before we wrap it up?
I definitely want to thank you so much for your time, just taking the time to have a conversation with me. I appreciate it. I definitely want to have you all just get a free gift I have for you. It talks about the ways to get on the news. I talked a little bit about getting on the news for free. And so the link is www.howtomakeittothenews.
We will definitely put that in the show notes for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's a great resource.
Thank you so much. So
yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, where can everybody find you online?
That I'm all over the place, really. If you spell my first name correctly, Stevie, Stevii, you can find me at Just Stevie, and that's Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. So JustStevii, JustStevii, just that one handle, and I'm all over.
So you're all over the internet. Great. Well,
yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Thank you. I tell people to make it a great day. Don't have a great day, but make it a great day, because you have the power to do so.
That is right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and until next time, we'll see ya. Bye. Thank you for joining me for the Biz Babes with Soul podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. To learn more about me, Melody Spencer, and the show, please visit swiftlysocial.com.